Hello, this is KRBrickBot, and this is part 2 of my review of
Capsule Warrior.
Now I'll be taking a look at the robot combinations. Now the 2-stage combination takes either Phoenix or Rhino as the upper torso and Alli or Sharky as the lower legs, and the combination name is just a compound word of those two. So, taking Phoenix here, flip up that, and I'll use Alli first. So you basically take those and turn them into legs, just flip them in together. Flip down these feet. The only configuration for these little flippies. Plug them into these double ports. Yeah, I think you can just take this and it becomes a robot shoulder. Plug this bit in and then take this other shoulder. Plug that bit in. And this will go here. As for the arms, yeah, these work as arms. I mean, that way they look like really short arms, but flip that up and they do work as slightly longer arms with a weird elbow. And shoulder it here, shoulder the treads here, because where else that cable will go. I think plug the wings on these little forearms here. And I think that's officially it, but I think you can also take this extra bit and just plug on the back. And this is PhoenixRhino. Yeah, this is a pretty decent looking combination robot. And I think its articulation is pretty okay, though it's, I think, better than generally a Super Sentai. So you can turn this very kind of bird motif head, robot head, at full 360 and a little bit up and down. More up than down. 360 on the shoulders. A elbow bend there and a kind of a biceps over here just because of the port. Forward that much, squeegees, back that much on squeegees. A little bit of splits that much. No thigh swivels, because that part doesn't have thigh swivels. And a bit of an ankle tilt, so pretty decent articulation because of all those universal joints. Universal within this set, that is. Also, I think the official configuration just have the wings on the back. Just have the wings flying swept back like this, but I think I just prefer to use them forward, just like blades. And to combine these two, I'll plug the Rhino head back on. Take these bits and plug them in. Flip these out on a little bit of limited loose ankle tilt, not ankle hilts. Plug them on those double ports. Take one of these, plug them in the shoulder. Take this other bit and plug it in the shoulder. And these become the forearms. And then plug the helmet bits on the sides here. And take this bit and plug it in the back. Rhino Sharky. Yeah, it's another decent mold, except it looks like the arm's a little wonky on this one. That's not level. Harumph goes the basic articulation as the other two Bart combination, but kind of more limited in some senses. And you can also give these ankle-tilted waist swivelly boys some 5mm accessories. Although kinda loosely. That's mainly to hold these accessories. Albeit a little loosely. And you can swap them around for Phoenix, Sharky, and Rhino Alli. I guess Rhino Alli works a little better, and so do these, because I think this looks like a more industrial, threaded aesthetic. But go with whatever configuration works for you. And here's Classics Optimus Prime to give you a sense of scale. Now to combine Leo with two others to form Capsule Warrior. Also, a note on the manufacturer, it looks like this was made by Hyperwiz, with some unique Transformer-y logos there. And also it shows here like Xinjiang, so this has been made in China, as you will see. So anyway, you take the lion torso and then flip it down on this double hinge. Snap it in there. Flip back this to reveal the robot head. And then fold those feet in and then until you hear a click, and then tap those little tabs in. And take these calf pieces and then use them to fill it in. Although it's kind of loose there. Take either forearm and splay them out and turn around the lion paw all the way 180 to reveal robot fists. Snap them in there. And take the wings. And I think some configurations tell you to plug it in the back. But that is not a very secure connection because this does not have any clip-in port. It's really just one piece just to hold this peg in. That's really its only purpose. Plugging any other of those universal joints in here just doesn't work. So it's best plugged in the shoulder. For Capsule Warrior PR, it's basically taking Phoenix and Rhino and turning them into legs, which pretty much involves removing all their extremities. You can leave these as big kneecaps. Flip that down, fold down those feet. Take off the wings. Fold the foot up like that. And then plug them into Leo's legs here. And then you can take a sword and then plug it in his hand. So this is a pretty good looking combined mode. Like a Super Sentai-esque, you know, robot animals turning into their arms and legs and such. And that's a pretty standard looking robot head. And the articulation is decent because of its modular building system. So first, going to the legs. Limited splits, and also they're permanently askewed on this kind of obtuse angle. Never seen that before, but that kind of somewhat limits movement, maybe? Squeaky ratchets, that much? And yeah, that's gonna be a little problem, because since this thing has double hinges, this may pop off way too easily. So you really gotta grab onto the main leg as you fold down this actual knee swivel. And a thigh swivel. And the back waist joint for the 2-part robot works as a ankle tilt. As for the top, the full 360, although these bits spin along with it. Or you can just hold on to this, and then some bicep swivels, and the wrist kind of wiggles a bit. Wiggles in like that. The ball head, the head is not on a ball socket, but a swivel. A little bit up and down. And a limited spread that much. Capsule Warrior SE uses S for Sharky and E for Alli, as in the girl's name Alli? No, I think that's some sort of romanization. I think it should be SA. Anyway. Like PR, just take off all the extremities just to leave the most basic limb mode. That forms a really nice ankle tilt, which could also act like an arm bend. Same for here. Okay, and then you can take these threads and either put them on the back or on the side. So these could provide extra support. Then just don't take off this very loose bit. I'm gonna complain about this to no end. And then you can just plug them on here for different legs. They're certainly more slimmer legs and possibly better ankle tilts, but what good are ankle tilts if this thing doesn't spread out that much? And this looks more like a 3-tone color, since, you know, Alli's color just really blends in with the yellow colors of Leo's. Yeah, not sure how well this thing can go for leaning poses. You gotta kind of have to keep it balanced well with those slightly askew legs. And to turn it into Ultimate Warrior, you combine all 5. So you can start off from the PR mode and then take these off. And take off the wings too. And then put it in here and this hole. Big beefy shoulders. Then normally Sharky goes on this side. And take these 2 fists, which actually have 2 different shaped pegs now that I've noticed. This one looks like a octagonal, while this one is hexagonal. What's going on here? Also rougher plastic here. So plug that fist in. Plug it in here. Plug Alli's fist. Then plug it in here. And take the wings and plug them on the front. And then take these bits and then plug them on the back. Although I think that will kind of get in the way in some poses, especially with spreading out arms. And maybe I'll put them in the other way. And I guess depending on the tolerance of these gray plugs that are prevalent through all of them, they could be loose. So if they happen to be loose on the shoulder, it'll pop off too easily. And to complete the look, plug on the helmet. And then you can take the helmets and put them on all their respective ports. Though on the arms, that kind of limits the movement. Without them, you can do a full 90 outward. But with those on, even in the other direction, I think that will limit it. So for the looks and storage purposes, you can just leave on there like that. But that will restrict the articulation. So it's a very imposing silhouette, especially since those Leo arms now fill out the shoulders. With some decently proportioned arms. Also, standard articulation, except, as I said, it has the outwards, although those will be very likely to pop off. And the bicep and wrist. The back silhouette is looking pretty good. It looks like it has some engine exhaust details. And you can take the sword and plug it in the 5mm hand. This rigid 2-collar bit is actually 5mm. The rest of it is slightly smaller, I think. Yeah, except using it as a sword, it looks inverse. It looks backwards. It looks like this should be coming out the front while this is a hilt, but because the way it's attached for the lion tail, like here, it's like this. So you either have to do it like this, or sideways, or forward. Or take a screwdriver to it and flip it around. So now that looks like a proper sword. I don't know why they just didn't give it like a 90-degree hinge so that I could turn at least. Yeah, it still has that hinge. Overall, but this base combination mode is still very impressive to look at. If you can somehow not fiddle with the legs and have these pop off. Quick comparisons with Classics Optimus Prime and Nemesis Prime. So this is basically a leader class size.
That's it for now. Join me next time as I take a look at the custom creations and combinations and my closing thoughts. So like and subscribe if you want to tune into that.